Okay, here we are. And thank you for joining. I'm excited about today. We are talking about foods that help with pain. This is our series. This is video number 4 on thriving with pain. Okay, managing pain, um, living with pain. I like to say thriving, doing life, even though you have chronic pain. And when we talk about pain, we're talking mostly about chronic pain, like there's painful conditions that people have that they're living with. For instance, fibromyalgia, arthritis, gout, rheumatoid arthritis. Um, some people are dealing with cancer pain, diabetes pain, migraine, migraine headaches. Uh, there's this being having had been in a car accident or work accident, and now that area of the body hurts repetitively. It comes back over and over, injuring the back. Previous injuries to the body sets up, pain cycles a lot of time, and so some people are dealing with very mild pain that comes and goes. Other people are dealing with severe, extreme pain that they're living with constantly. So we're talking about ways to improve pain on a daily basis. Today we're talking about foods that make tend to make pain worse and foods that make pain better. So we'll start with the first list: foods that commonly cause pain to get worse. Okay, what is that? I'm going to start with headaches. When people have chronic headaches, migraine headaches, it's been studied that monosodium glutamate, you may know it as MSG. MSG is found in a lot of processed foods that are kind of salty. Okay, sodium, salty, have a salty taste. MSG is sometimes it's advertised in product foods that it will say no MSG. I remember coming across it in like let's say sauces that you cook with, like teriyaki sauce, different sauces like that would have monosodium glutamate, MSG. So you have to read the labels. I'll put it in the chat. So mono, sodium glutamate, okay, aka MSG. Okay. Now, there is another one that's similar to that that also contributes to headaches, and that is sodium nitrites or nitrates. Okay. And those are in processed meats, processed foods, processed meats, for instance, bologna, hot dogs, um, that whole section in the grocery store that sells that whole section, a lot of those has sodium nitrates. Now, sometimes they'll advertise no sodium nitrates. So so sometimes you'll see some products don't have that, but most of them do. So just by reading labels and knowing what it is, basically sodium nitrates is a type of preservative. It keeps the meat from going bad. It keeps it um, fresher longer, but it can cause headaches. Okay, it can cause it contributes to migraine headaches. So just be aware of that. And some people, everybody's different, but some people, caffeine causes headaches. Okay, let's go to the next one that is common. Processed foods, processed sugars. Okay, sugar, excess amounts of sugar can cause the inflammation of the nerves, can cause more pain. Incidentally, it's also been shown to contribute to cancer. Okay, processed sugars. So be aware of that. What are processed sugars? So, in other words, things that come in a container, a box, a bottle. for instance, soda or things that come in a can. Okay, these are processed foods. And these are the things you want to really stay away from. There's so many things that processed sugars can cause, diabetes and uh, morbid obesity and central obesity. That's it, obesity at the gut area. Um, you know, it leads to high levels of mm, high levels of a type of cholesterol called triglycerides, which can lead to heart attacks, strokes, things like that. It's just bad all the way around. Try to stay away from excess. A little bit here, a little there, but excess amounts of it shouldn't be the main part of your diet. It should just be occasionally. Okay. So that being said, let's talk about something else that many people know about, gluten. I'm gonna put it also in the chat. Gluten. Gluten. Gluten can also contribute to chronic pain as well. So you can try going ahead and eliminating these things one at a time, to see if it improves your pain levels. I also want to put a plug in. Hopefully, you'll be able to see. Yeah, Dr. Bob's 1 Minute a Day to a Healthier You. This is written by Robert Demaria. Okay, let's see. There it is. The drugless doctor. So I've been reading this, and it's really nice because it's only just a few. It's very short. It takes literally about a minute to read, and it's just a lot of good information. Um, and I also put his information in the chat as well. But one of the things that he kind of reminded me of or taught me was gluten can lead to pain. So if you have a lot of pain in your body, try going on a gluten-free diet, okay, where you just eliminate gluten for 21 days and see what happens. So I am on my gluten-free diet as much as I can. I sneak in a little here and there, and be honest, but for the most part, I'm avoiding foods that have gluten, which is typically a lot of the breads, flour tortillas, even like noodles and pastas have gluten, and so I'm just going for it. And I have noticed that my pain levels are a little bit less. I tend to get chronic pain as well, and it seems to be less intense, and I get the pain less often. So I believe it's working. So anyway, um, you could try that as well. All right, next. Now we're going to get into foods that actually improve the pain. All right, this is a good part. Blueberries, blueberries are wonderful because they're in the berry group. So berries, period. They help with weight loss. Okay, so people who are trying to lose weight. That's a good thing to remember. Um, but they also help with the memory function, the pigment, the purple pigment, purplish kind of color, bluish color, that helps memory, okay, of those kind of fresh veggies and foods that have that will help your memory, which is wonderful. Most of us need that. But it also helps with pain. It does help. Another one, let's see, turmeric, which is in a lot of curry. Okay, people who cook with curries, typically turmeric is the powder, is yellowish powder, and so you could cook with it. You could sprinkle it on your like when you're making eggs or your stir fry veggies. Some people buy the capsules. You can actually get capsules, which is very, very, very good for inflammation and pain. Also, turmeric is good for memory. It helps your memory as well. It helps prevent Alzheimer's, dementia. Okay. In fact, a lot of anti-inflammatory um, food supplements, medications helps with Alzheimer's, dementia. Okay. So in general, we want to decrease inflammation in the body, and sugars increase inflammation. Natural foods, omega 3 type of foods, turmeric, things like that, decreases inflammation in the body. Okay. All right. So what else? I wrote a list over there. Okay, so also olive oil, okay, is very helpful. So when we cook with olive oil, you can put some olive oil on your salad. This is very helpful. Um, fish, salmon. Salmon is very good for pain. Pumpkin seeds, very good for pain. And I need to also put a shout out to Victoria. Mm, my goodness. Uh, Veronica, excuse me. I work with Veronica. She and I work in the health clinic, and years ago, she and I were working with pain support groups. She is a counselor, okay, and she went on the internet and looked up on various websites that were, you know, reputable websites, foods that assist or help with pain. And she was gracious enough to come up with a nice handout, and we give it to our patients, and it's wonderful. Okay, pumpkin seeds. Okay, very helpful for pain. Let's see. Uh, Okay, red wine. Not a lot, a little bit of red wine. I typically avoid that one because, well, children shouldn't be drinking red wine, but and some people, adults probably should not be drinking red wine because some people are addicted. So, okay, we said that. But red wine a little bit also helps with pain. Um, Okay, let's move on a little bit. Omega 3 foods in general, foods that have omega 3 are going to help with pain because omega 3 helps with inflammation in the body. It decreases inflammation, it helps with arthritis pain. Omega 3 also helps improve memory as well. So, which foods have omega 3? Avocados, nuts, raw nuts, they have omega 3. Um, what else? Okay, let's let reminds me of peanut oil. Now, peanut oil um is a very strong anti-inflammatory that you could massage directly into your joints. Um, and I would advise after heating the joint, like in the morning, then you put some peanut oil. It'll help penetrate moist heat, peanut oil, massage it into the joint, and then move the joint back and forth motion, whether it's the knees, the hips, the foot, shoulder, elbows, hands, wrists. Try putting massaging some peanut oil just once a day, and then repetition back and forth movement throughout the day, several times a day, between 3 to 10 times a day, I would say. About 10 repetitions each time. Just that back and forth motion. And these things, it actually does help with arthritis type of pains. Um, Dark chocolate. I almost forgot. One of my favorites, actually. Dark chocolate is very good for pain relief. It has magnesium in it. It is also has omega 3 in it. And magnesium typically also is like a muscle relaxant. You can, in fact, another supplement that you can take is magnesium oxide. It's like a capsule. You could take it, and it helps relax muscles. So it helps with headaches. It helps with menstrual type of pains. Okay, so very, very good for these. And it actually does work. Some people are able to sleep with the magnesium. It helps them to relax, be able to relax at night and go to sleep. So that's a natural muscle relaxant. I'll put that in the chat as well. Magnesium oxide. Now, there's another form of magnesium which people don't realize is magnesium sulfate, okay, which is Epsom salt, okay. And this is also very helpful for relaxation and relaxing the muscles. Just put Epsom salt in a hot bathtub, or you can make a soak out of it. Put Epsom salt in a container of warm hot water, like a sink or a big bowl or big pot. Put some Epsom salt, 3 to 4 cups to about a gallon of warm hot water. Make a solution out of it. Put a hand towel and then put it around your neck or wherever you have pain. And then you could put like a plastic bag and then a heating pad on top of that, and just lay down and relax. And that just about 5 minutes of that, 10 minutes of that should really, really, really break up the muscle tension. Okay, another thing I almost forgot. Avoiding cigarette smoking. So cigarette smoke can contribute to pain because it causes the muscles to spasm and get very, very tight, and this can be very painful. Um, and then don't forget taking deeper, the opposite of that, taking deep, fresh breath, deep and slow, going outside, getting some fresh breath. Being around plants, green plants also provides oxygen as well. So taking those deep, slow breaths. Um, this is in fact I'm reminded of a coworker was telling me just yesterday, breathing in and then I think it's breathe in 4 seconds, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then breathe out for 8 seconds. And you count breathing in, count to four as you're breathing in, hold your breath for about 7 seconds, and then slowly let your breath out for 8 seconds. She said it's the Marines use that technique to help them to bring their heart rate down when they're in combat or when they need to do that. So deep, slow, relaxing breaths also help relax some muscles in the body as well. And so this is a technique you could do anytime, anywhere. um okay, I think I got everything. So let's summarize. Foods that make pain worse. Processed foods for the most part, monosodium glutamate, sodium nitrates, gluten, and processed sugars. Foods that typically make the pain better. Uh, Generally, foods that have omega 3, so olive oil, salmon, nuts, avocado, flaxseed. These are all things that have uh, omega 3, which is a type of good fat. Omega 3 fatty acids is a good fat. That in there as well. Omega 3 fatty acids. These are good fats. Okay, good fats. And this is what your body needs to repair itself, to get rid of inflammation. Another one that's really, really good for inflammation is turmeric. Okay, that's good for inflammation. Um, okay, so these are blueberry, I almost forgot. Blueberries, okay, very good for pain and inflammation. Tell you a quick story before we end. Um, my daughter-in-law, when she was pregnant, first pregnancy, and so she was trying so hard to be healthy. I'm so proud of her. She really was going all out to be as healthy as she could during this pregnancy for the baby. So she was eating curry chicken. She was having like smoothies, and she would put blueberries and other good things in her smoothies. She was cooking with olive oil, particularly more towards the end of the pregnancy. She would just eat these really healthy foods. So she was getting her turmeric, she was getting the blueberries, all these without even realizing that it was going to help her labor and delivery. Long story short, she was also doing a lot of exercising during her pregnancy. She was, walking frequently, just eating healthy, staying away from processed foods and processed sugars, and just doing the best she could health wise. And so she did these things, and she has salmon. Of course, I almost forgot that she would eat salmon quite a bit. I kid you not, she did not realize she was even in labor. So she was feeling pains, but she was still shopping and going to Target and doing this and running errands. I think her sister and her mom were with her, or maybe it was her mom, and they were doing this and that, and then finally the pain started to get more intense, prompting her to go to the hospital. But she was not in labor very long at all. I think maybe be somewhere between 2 to 5 hours. That baby was born very fast. My grandson was born quickly, without severe pain. It was, yeah, she had some pain, but it was tolerable. She was able to tolerate, and it wasn't long labor that most of us have to go through. I went through. Anyways, so that was an inspiration to me as I started to put it all together, what her diet was like, what her lifestyle was like. She had a very healthy lifestyle, and therefore her pain and her labor and delivery was a lot less than expected and a lot less than most people. So that was a very dramatic illustration to me that yes, avoiding the wrong foods and eating the right foods really does help with pain. And not only that, it helps prevent heart disease. All of these things help prevent heart disease, helps prevent cancer. It just overall makes you healthy overall. Okay, well, it was nice chatting with all of you, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of this day. And until next week, which I'm doing these once a week, I'm trying to do them on Saturday mornings, try to be consistent as much as I can. Until next time, be blessed, live life well, and love you to life. Bye bye. I did.